Mate, this is one of our best episodes of all time, I reckon.
Easily. It's like a grand final episode.
For more reasons than one.
It sure is. Oh, I can't wait for this weekend. Got an enormous night of racing at Moonee Valley with the Manikato Stakes, and then down in Sydney, Rosehill. It's the Golden Rose, one of the most important stallion-making races in Australia. And then, of course, the AFL Grand Final. We are going to be there. How good, mate?
Doesn't get much better, and we'd like to thank the good people at Neds for sending us to Moonee Valley and in many ways sending us to Melbourne as well.
Yeah, absolutely. A big shout out to the good people at Neds. Plenty to do with them this weekend with the AFL Grand Final and also some massive days of racing. So get on boards. If you open up your Neds app, get involved with the profiles as well. We've got a couple of profiles on there. You can follow our tips in and see what we like, and maybe follow us in. We've tipped a couple of roughies this weekend. You can do everything you want with the good people at Neds. Just get involved.
You really can. And I guess this is your last opportunity. Thursday morning, we send out comms about our Group 1 tipping competition. So you'll have to listen to find out all the finer details.
Absolutely. If you're listening to this podcast right now, and it's a Wednesday night, and you haven't signed up, pause it and go to www.onthedriftpodcast.com and sign up.
Simple as that. But what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Mr. Brightside fins them up and wins again. Zardozi wins the Oaks for J-Mac. The photo finish. Mr. Brightside or Romantic Warrior. The mare's going. Great guns. Fangirl. Look at the go. Fangirl. Imperatrice has got her. And raced on by Imperatrice by a length. Overpass. More Baker's Delight in Perth. Radina just won it, I'd say. Tom Kedden won the spring champion in a cakewalk. Without a fight, won the Caulfield Cup.
Can I get a
Chee Hoo Baby? Chee Hoo Baby. Let's go.
grand final week? It's good.
It's good to be involved.
In more ways than one.
In multiple ways. We're a horse racing podcast, so first thought, typically you would think, oh yeah, you guys are looking forward to Friday night racing, Manikato Stakes, cracking field, bit of a match race in the Feehan as well there. Saturday, Golden Rose, the best colts of their age group. You would think that. You would think that's what we're most excited for.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, Drifters, we're decked out.
In Lions kit.
Decked out in Lions kit. You especially are perfectly matching.
Thank you.
You've got the blue Brisbane Lions cap.
Maroon shirt.
And you got the scarf.
Yeah, I'm missing I'm in Fitzroy colours today.
Yeah. Hey, you got to pay your respects to the past of the club.
I'm unsure what hat I'm going to wear at the G on Saturday.
I thought you were going to wear a gorilla suit.
Maybe.
Shout out to the Fitzroy Gorillas.
Yeah. One of the great teams of all time. But no, I think I might go this. It's a new edition this year.
I like it.
Yeah.
I really like it. Yet to decide what I'm going to wear. What I'm wearing now, though, I've got a Queensland maroon 4X gold cap on.
It's outstanding.
Cord. I've actually got Queensland Bulls training shorts on. Thanks, Mitch Swepson. And obviously a Brisbane Lions scarf. Cannot wait.
Remember we had a bat sponsor sticker for one Mitch Swepson when he was playing in Pakistan.
Wow. That's a blast from the past. Yes, we did.
So think Steve Smith koala mattress style.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Sweb didn't necessarily, he didn't necessarily lift the willow to signal 50.
I was fully expecting him to at least get a half ton on debut in Pakistan. But it wasn't meant to be. Look, he could make a guest appearance over the weekend. Yeah. Not on this podcast. No. Like, I know you'd love that, Drifters, but he's down in Melbourne at the moment with the mighty Queensland Bulls one-day team. Skipper.
Is he?
Skipper. Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
That's news to me.
How good.
Hey. He deserves that.
Yeah, so he's going to skip over the Maroons the Bulls when Marnus isn't there in all formats.
I found out the other day that Marnus was Bulls skipper. It's like, when did that happen?
Oh,
Usman just going like, you know what, bruh? I just want to focus on batting.
Usman's like, look, if I'm not playing for Australia, I probably just won't play. Bro's
So
58.
Yeah.
Been around for a long time, was he? And long may he continue.
Yeah. So you were right, though. We are a horse racing podcast, and we are heading down to Melbourne. If you haven't realised, we secured grand final tickets on Monday. Stressful time.
Chee Hoo Baby.
Public enemy number one.
Ticket Tech. Not the good guys.
Public enemy number 2. Airlines.
Yeah, that was a shit show. After we finished this podcast on Sunday morning, first thing, beer in my belly.
Yeah. Shit.
I wanted to go like, you know what, mate, we should act, because I was like, we're getting tickets. I'm in the ballot, should be fine.
Yeah.
We need to book tickets. And as I was checking out for our direct flight home, bang, got like an error message. I'm like, okay, weird. Started the process again. Flight we went down on was there, all good. Flight coming home, bang, no direct flights home until like 8 p.m. I'm like, well, that won't do because we get out at Sparrow's fast.
Yeah, that won't do. Look, luckily enough, we're going via Sydney, so it's on the way.
It's in enemy territory, though.
It is in enemy territory.
So I cannot win when the Lions knock them off. Cam Rayner gets the Norm Smith, and I'm wearing my Lions kit on the plane, on the way home, just to rub it into them.
Yeah, just feeling nervous. Nervous, like excited about the game. High hopes after the disappointment of last year. But last year was a bit weird because it was at no point during the game did I think we were going to lose. Not because we were ahead by so much, but it was literally anyone's game for the majority of it, and then they lost, and sort of sunk in a bit later on. But no, look, didn't think they'd be there this year. Unbelievable. Should be good, and I think the entire country is on the Lions bandwagon as well. It's good to have you on board. Yeah, it's welcome. The more the merrier. There's plenty of room on this bandwagon.
Now on Sunday, you had a bit of a breaking news in the equine world. Do you want to break it to people? I haven't seen anyone go with this.
Yeah, I don't know how common knowledge it is, and I'm not going to give away my source because just in case for whatever reason. The word on the grapevine is, Drifters, that a pretty standout horse who actually won the Golden Rose last year, Militarize of 3 Group 1s, standout 2-year-old, 3-year-old of his generation, you could argue, fame, hasn't been doing his best work at stud.
No.
With the good people at Newgate. He's not been doing his best work. Bro has been shooting blanks. Can you believe it?
I can't believe that.
Can you believe it?
I thought he was going to be a specimen at stud.
Absolutely. Son of done deal. Just unfortunately looks like he's infertile, Militarized, and by all reports, he'll be returning to the track in the autumn.
Kementari
style.
So there you go. Militarized. We will see him back on the track.
Yes. I assume they'll geld him. If there's nothing in those nuts.
Why wouldn't you?
You just geld him. And if he gains a length or two, he's going to be a great Group 1 weight for age stalwart.
Yes. Exactly what our middle distance ranks need.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I thought that was fascinating. Well done by you. Yeah. You don't Trav Noonan, I think you're the hardest guy in horse racing journalism.
I am the hardest guy in horse racing journalism. Not the hardest working, though. That's Trav.
Yeah. Hardest like this?
Yeah, I'm fucking so big.
Jacked. Jacked. All right, Moonee Valley, we're going to be there on Friday night.
Chee Hoo.
Yeah, shout out to the I Wish I Win connections who kicked us out of Team Red's lounge, but we got tickets anyway.
I completely get it.
Thank you to the good people at Neds for getting us there on Friday night. Cannot wait. Should we get into this meeting?
Absolutely.
All right. So, Moonee Valley. Now, what race is it? Is it race 6, race 7?
It's race 7, the Manikato.
Good field this. I'm really excited for this race because there's storylines galore and a 3-year-old I did not expect to be here.
No, neither did I at all. Good field. Should be a good deck too, which I think is going to be...
It's a good point. I have that written down. So, rail is out 3 metres, a bit of rain around, and it is cold today, tomorrow, and Friday's the top of 17. So, I think at worst you're looking at like a 6, I'd say. I think it's more than likely to be a 4 or 5.
I'd say so. I think if it's going to be a 4, it's going to be a juicy 4. Particularly at night time when it's a bit cooler, there might just be a bit more water sort of being contained in the track, but with the dew. So rail out 3 metres. I haven't looked into the statistics at Moonee Valley, but I would assume that would probably help those that are on pace.
Yeah, I'd say so, but in a race like this, I think there's going to be plenty of speed on. I think they should hopefully be able to run on. I think what I've heard is they've deliberately kept the track pretty dry. So they're wanting the rain to come and that'll be the irrigation. So I think later today, or tomorrow, I think they basically have to make that decision to basically water it or not. So you don't want it in previous years where Haydock gets on the bloody travelator on the rail and it's impossible to win otherwise. So, which can happen at Moonee Valley at the nighttime meetings as well. But I'm considering this as, they'll get their fair chance. Now, before we get into the form references, this is the first Group 1 of our Group 1 tipping competition.
It is. Jeez, you're on the ball today, Daniel Hutchin. There's something in the air this week. Yes, it is. So the Group 1 tipping comp for spring starts with the Manikato Stakes, obviously on a Friday night, Drifters. So expect an email in your inbox if you've signed up from us on the Drift podcast at gmail.com via SurveyMonkey. Will be in your inbox tomorrow in the AM at the very latest, and you'll be able to enter your tips for the Manikato and also the Golden Rose, which is racing down at Rosehill on Saturday.
Thursday morning at the latest. I'll probably put out something on socials that says, hey, it's officially gone. If you haven't received it in the next half hour, let's say, please get in contact with us. But we've done a few tests and there shouldn't be any issues with the email. It should be in your standard inbox, but as always, like check junk and stuff like that. Yeah. So if I was to tip, I don't know, I'm just looking at the field here, Johnny Rocker, and Johnny turns up in his best form and he wins. Do I get 3 points for first?
No. I'm assuming Johnny Rocker is going to start at double figures.
Yeah.
But it has to be double figures with the good people at Neds. So $10 or higher. If you pick the winner, and that's the price that it pays, you'll get double points. So you get 6 points.
Bang. But if he was to finish second or third, you just get 2 points for second and 1 point for third, right?
You just get the stock standard 2 and 1 because do you know what we trade in?
Wins.
We trade in wins. Fucking generous to be giving out points for second and third, I reckon. Consolation prize. But look, they have silver and bronzes at the Olympics, and
true.
I guess we're sitting just underneath that in terms of sporting excellence.
Just.
Slightly. So
Just.
I guess we can follow suit.
Okay.
But very exciting. So as it stands right now, we've got more than 120 people who've signed up. Geez, if you haven't done it yet and you're listening to this, you better be quick smart.
Yeah.
If it's already Thursday and you're listening to this, too late, motherfucker.
All right. So you'll get the email Thursday morning and it will have the Manikato and the Golden Rose in there.
And the Golden Rose. Very simple. It'll be 2 questions. Who do you think wins? And you just select from the drop-down menu. Look, I don't know if we could baby you anymore. It should be pretty straightforward to figure it out. So, but, of course, if you've signed up, you don't get the email, or if you've got any issues at all, please get in contact with us. The easiest way to get in contact with us is via Instagram.
Or go to our show notes on any podcasting app and hit us up via the text message. There is a text messaging service there, but I would say it is probably better to hit us up on the Instagram, on the Drift Podcast on Instagram. Hit up our DMs. We monitor those more closely.
Yes.
All right. The Manikato Stakes. This market, interesting. I currently have, in my view right now, I wish I win $5 Growing Empire, equal favourite at $5. I don't think there's any chance, zero chance at all, that I Wish I Win doesn't start favourite here. Has to. With all the owners on track, they are going to absolutely pile drive this thing.
Yeah,
he will start with a 3 in front of it.
I would suggest he'd start favourite. Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you see a lot of speed in this field?
It was interesting that you said to expect a hot speed. Like, yeah, it'll be hot speed because it's a Group 1 and it's a sharp field. But I can't see too many who will try to put it on from the get-go. I don't see like a Lady of Camelot in this race. So, yeah, I think it'll be a moderate speed and it should give those at the back a chance to run home. But I still think if you're sitting in the first third, like most races, that's where you want to be in this race for mine. I think it's going to be quite tactical.
I had recommendation Cabolas, Kaimochi and Estriella from out wide trying to find forward positions. I think Hayasugi's probably one of the ones that I'm hoping can kick up a little bit with Jamie from Barrier 2. And then Coleman, much the same with Kieran on board as well. And Growing Empire he's a bit tactical. He's proven to go forward. But I think from Barrier 12 of 13, Irish Win just goes up the arse end again.
Absolutely, he does. So he's going to be the one running on. If you watch a replay of the Moya Stakes, Drifters, Hayasugi was ahead of I Wish I Win in the run, but she actually jumped quite well. I don't think she drew super well from memory in that race, but she did jump quite well, and Jamie had to shuffle her back a little bit because there were some horses jostling for a position. I don't like gate 2 for her. I was really hoping to see her draw probably between 4 and 7 or 8 maybe. Like ideally, I prefer her to draw I Wish I Win's gate as opposed to drawing 2 because where did she get to in the run? Firstly. Secondly, on that short straight down the at the valley, you're going to need a fair bit of luck. The seas will need to part because she ain't leading.
No, she's not. I reckon she can, though. Yeah.
You reckon she can lead?
No. I reckon she can...
I'd be shocked if she led.
No, I reckon she can find good luck, and I'd rather back her and have bad luck than back something else hoping they get good luck. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I just that she screamed to me that she's, and clearly, if you were listening last week for my 3-year-old power rankings at this stage, she was number 2. So of course I'm going to back her in this.
Yeah, well that makes sense.
Yeah, $5.50, 50 kilos. I just love everything that she's done today, and I think she's one of the classiest 3-year-olds that we've seen for a while, and I can just see her run was just as good as I Wish I Wins with that weight advantage. Barrier 2, I will Jamie Carr on. I'll back that she'll zig when she's supposed to zig, and she'll have her nose in front on the line.
Yeah, I was sort of a bit annoyed at Growing Empire accepted for this race.
Yeah, strange,
and for me, it really muddled my thoughts because if you're listening to our top 5 3-year-olds, I had him in second place.
Yep.
And Hayasugi was in the top 5. I think very highly of her. And she was my clear bet in this race until I saw that he accepted, and I was like, what do I do? She's come back better than ever, and I think for any of the horses in this race, barring I Wish I Win, they're going to have to run a new peak to win. And that's nothing abnormal in a Group 1 sprint, right? Like typically the horse that wins peaks on the day unless it's a superstar and it doesn't need to. From what we saw of Hayasugi resuming in the Moya, there's every reason to believe that she'll find a new peak here and can win. Growing Empire, one, has to find a new peak here. Secondly, I think he has to go absolutely enormous to win. But I think from that gate, with Craig Williams on, with 52 kilos, I think Craig might do a lightly weighted 3-year-old and a Cox plate type thing. And if he jumps well, which we've seen, just go for it and try and lead and hold on. I think with Growing Empire, what we've seen from him, he has a tactical versatility to take a sit, so he doesn't absolutely need to lead. But I think he's going to be ahead of Hayasugi in the running, and that's the reason why I'm leaning towards him. Don't like the price. I was thinking when he accepted, I was like, I bet she's going to go at favourite. Like I just thought that, and he did, and he's drifted, which I like, because if he gets out to like the same price as Hyasugi or $6 or $7 or something like that, which we'll see, happy to bet on him at that price. Slightly in front of Hyasugi. So they're the two for me, the 3-year-olds. I did see that 3-year-olds don't have a phenomenal record in this race. Is it because the Coolmore's down the track and usually they're just not even bothering with this and they're trying to stick to their own grade? Is that why you think?
Yeah, it's probably. I think that's the logical option. And then, the 3-year-olds having pretty good record in the Everest as well now. So
yeah, true.
In recent years, it's probably been more of a B graders 3-year-old target race, I'd say. But I'd say these 3-year-olds are some of the top tier. They're probably the best 3-year-olds that have contested this race in a long time.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. So just on the Growing Empire as well, I think Hyasugi, we obviously both have a very high opinion, and she kind of ticked that box for me last start in the Moya. And I think she's going to be even better suited out to 1,200 metres. Whereas Growing Empire has been super.
Yeah.
But I have to take a shorter price for him at the moment, where he's only been beating up on the B grade colts.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'd much rather be in her camp. And the one that I'm scared of is I Wish I Win. The one we haven't talked about is the son of Grunt, V8, Yulong Stud, Yulong Stallion rather. Could he put his hoof up for an Everest slot?
I think he can. I think he really can. I saw Lloydie of Mugs punting and the leg up.
The leg up.
But he also gets up. I saw him talk about V8 as a potential left of field Yulong option for the Everest, basically quoting the fact that he's out of Grunt. He's Grunt's first crop and his first Group 1 winner. And he's still got his nuts, V8. And I thought to myself, I was like, that is such a good take. And this stable, the McAvoys, you mentioned Haydock before, they know how to win this race. They've had him wound up with 2 trials. We know he can bounce out fresh over 1,200 metres. He's won at the Valley before. He's drawn super well. I think he's got the tactical speed. He's the one at odds that I think can absolutely jump out of the ground here as a 4-year-old and just be like, next year, guys, to the 3-year-olds. Like, if he's taken any improvement, he'll be incredibly hard. He'll be incredibly hard to beat, and he's the one at odds that potentially the victim might pick.
I think I saw that from Lloydie, and it was a fantastic take as well. I thought so, but I remember first up in the autumn. Or it might have been even in the spring, actually. It was before he won the McNeil. His trials into that, you couldn't possibly back him.
No, terrible
They
trialer.
were horrific.
Terrible trialer.
But his latest trials have been pretty good. I think
Shades on.
Yeah, I think they've been working really hard at this Entai now, being a 4-year-old. So I reckon he's the one who I can see kind of like, and I heard the McAvoys talking about him. He's drawn a gate where they probably can be a little bit more negative out of the gate. And they were saying, well, he's never had the opportunity to actually chase. He might be a better chaser. So, yeah. V8, I reckon, is like the best one in double figures.
I think so. I noticed that there's 2 other Yulong horses with the silks, at least, in this race, Komochi and Chain of Lightning. Do you think Growing Empire is a risk to be scratched?
Potentially, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if he scratched. That's the only thing. And I think, and I'm sort of hoping that they do. Like, I'm keen to back him, but at the same time, like, I feel like he doesn't need to run in this to go into an Everest. He can beat up on his own age again to go into the Everest. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bit odd for me. The only one that we haven't talked about that's in the market is Estrella.
Nope. She's not up to this. No way. So? She will hit 2 double figures for me.
For me, I don't know if she hits double figures. For me, I would have wanted to have seen more over 1,000 from her.
Yeah.
I think.
She's not suited out to 1,200 metres.
Against this lot?
No way. Not at this grade. No way. Like,
I'm risking her in my top 4.
Same. I found it hilarious that they were talking about Everest for her. She's nowhere near that. If there's a a slot race for 1,000 metres, sure, she might be in the conversation.
She might be a Royal Ascot type.
Yeah, maybe. Do you want to know what the drifters are on?
Yeah, I guess.
Adam Ennets. So I Wish I Win, best horse in the race, out to 1,200 metres, will show why he's the favourite in the Everest. Jimmy Biddulph, I Wish I Win. Melbourne Sean, V8. The Short Ball, Growing Empire. James Looney's, Hayasugi, Kai Hocking rather. Growing Empire could just show how good he is. Josh Bell, warming to Growing Empire. Mitch Felton, what's recommendation done wrong?
Not much.
Good gate, on speed, another Group 1 blowout. If it is leaderish on the night, I think recommendation might need that, but $11. Mick D knows how to spoil a
Oh,
party.
absolutely, he does.
Jay Meaney, Coleman, V8, finishing off well. Pirata to have a Group 1 double this weekend. And Chain of Lightning would be my pick from Kurt Raymond. So I was saying to Adam Ennets in the DMs, I want to be a bit self-indulgent with I Wish I Win because we were chatting. He was talking about that horse is the horse that got him into horse racing.
Oh, Showin was.
And after the Golden Eagle win. And I was like, well, mate, I've got a yarn about the Golden Eagle with I Wish I Win. Because I backed Fangirl that day. And she was a very close second to I Wish I Win. But I had the Quinella, which was paying 75 to 1 as well. And that was a nice day, but it could have been so much better if Fangirl just nudged her nose in front.
And she was a big price, wasn't she?
She was 20 to 1 that day in the Golden
ridiculous.
Eagle. That was utter madness. So, but as you say, she can run on a bit.
She can.
Anyway, yeah, I have Hayasugi on top. I Wish I Win in for second. Who do I have in for third? I think I had the big man V8 and then Growing Empire into fourth.
Yeah, we've got the same top four, but Growing Empire, Hayasugi, I Wish I Win V8 for mine.
Lovely. All right. Shall we get on to the rest of this card then?
Absolutely.
Let's go to race 4, the Feehan Stakes. What are your thoughts on a 4-horse field over the mile? Group 2, weight for age.
Look, when it's this, happy.
Yeah, it's good. I don't mind it.
You know, in other circumstances, could be dross.
Like I've heard yarns that from Mr. B's camp, if Pride Jenny's here, they're going to scratch.
Come on.
For the good of the game.
For the good of the, yeah.
You have to accept, right?
For the good of the industry.
Yeah.
Absolutely you have to.
Is there any universe where they don't run top 2?
Oh, certainly there's a universe.
Is the one that we're currently dwelling in?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Is this a betting race? Absolutely not.
No, I'm happy to
watch.
look on and clap.
Happy to watch. But all I'll say is that prior to Jenny, we've seen her greyhound around the valley. We've seen Mr. Brightside do it as well. But I think if we're playing on a dry deck, and if she's, taking any improvement out of the Maccabi Diva, she's going to be even harder to run down. Yeah. And she's a better price than Mr. Brightside. Not by much, but she's black odds and he's not.
And she has beaten him home more often than not.
So if you had to force my hand, I would be in the Jenny camp. Could we see a blowout? We could, but I'd want a bigger price for Antino and Nutrition if that was the case. I'm not taking single figures for either of those fucking ponies.
God, no. Tell you what is a nice little race is the Scarborough Stakes, race 5, 1,200 metres, Group 3 for the 3-year-old fillies at set weights.
Got to play here.
I have one that's chips in.
I've got one that I'm really keen on as well. And it's partly to do with the name. All right, I'll put my chips in first.
Yeah.
I reckon GG's Miss Truth is a play here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can have a Quinella.
Yeah.
We will be at those prices. Because mine's double figures.
Yours is double figures.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Number 6, Matisse.
Oh, you love that horse.
Do I?
Yeah, you've backed it before. Absolutely.
I don't think I have.
Well, who am I thinking of?
Not me.
I swear to God, you've backed it before.
No, she ran 3rd in the Diamond. I backed Kuranagi in the ran 4th in the Diamond, maybe 5th. But Yeah, I backed Kuranagi in the diamond, didn't back her in the lead ups.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But anyway, my mistake.
Matisse, mate. Yeah, she's a cracking bet here. And I'll explain to you why. What did I write down? So I thought there was a bit of speed in this race, right? Bold Bastille, GG's, Miss Truth, Chateau Miraval, Sassy Jenny. I thought they all go forward. So there's going to be, if Matisse is fit enough and good enough, I think there'll be enough pace for her to win. Only broke her maiden in Brisbane, but that residual fitness, which Anthony and Sam Friedman love to do, I think that will have her in good stead here. And you don't have to look too far back to see that she has some of the best 2-year-old form going around. Only beaten half a length twice to Hayasugi in the autumn and was unlucky not to be closer in the diamond. She was held up for about 300 metres there and she still finished fifth. Her trials have been outstanding. Outstanding. I think she's in for a massive campaign. And I'm not taken by some of these who I think, frankly, have form against, like, obviously not the A1 form of Autumn Glow. So I'm looking at the likes of Licky Zaitang, who's around the mark of like Amina and Manal, sure, but Autumn Glow proved how much better she was than her. So I'm really keen to kind of find that alternative form reference, and I think Matisse is the one. At double figure odds, I think she'll go round the corner, bang, Tommy Berry's gone down for the ride too.
Tommy. So I like GG's. And look, would I back a Tasmanian horse often?
No.
Absolutely not.
How many come over here?
Not many.
Mystic Journey?
Not many, if any.
And when Mystic Journey came over for her winning soiree, there was a few others that came over and they weren't that good.
The Inevitable?
I backed him at Scarborough.
You sure did?
He ran fourth.
GG's Miss Truth, first ever run north of Tasmania, was actually against Drifting. And Drifting controlled that race and was just a better horse with more weight. But she drew the second widest gate and actually got shuffled back pretty much to last or second last and came home super. Came home absolutely super. She wasn't the top weight in that race, Drifting was, but she had the second top weight, GG's Miss Truth. Trialled since and trialled down in Longford. But she's been kept sharp because that race was more than a month ago. Draws a gate here. Benny Mellon decides to stick on. Yeah, she ran home like a good horse. So keen to be with her at $5.50, GG's Miss Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we liked Drifting when she came up to Sydney and she got scratched. She stayed down in Flemington. Mm-hmm. Didn't go well. Pulled up not well. She had what did she have? EIPTH or something like that?
Yeah, something like
that. Epitar?
Yeah. No, I think she was the other one I was looking at, GG. So I just love that Tommy Berry's flown down without a Group 1 ride and he's coming to ride Matisse.
Yeah, so he wants to bask in the ambiance of the Valley on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he's a Lions fan. Maybe that's why he's coming down. All right, the Stutt Stakes, 1,600 metre Group 2 for the 3-year-olds, set weights. I thought there was a nice bet here.
Go on.
I thought it was Evaporate.
Yeah, I jumped off Evaporate last start and I shouldn't have because I'm an idiot.
He absolutely brained him. And he's proven at the Valley, at the mile. Why wouldn't I jump on? If he's $4, where Dawn Service looks like he's going to run out a mile, but he hasn't done it yet, the son of Justify.
He has not. However, he's bare minimum odds here. He's $3.20, but he's my on top selection. Form around Autumn Glow and just put him to the sword with Blake Shin on last start. Blake Shin stays on. And yeah, I've got every faith that he can run out a mile. So Dawn Service, I'm happy to take him.
Yeah. The other reason why I liked Evaporate was he carried weight that day too. I think he had 61 kilos.
He did carry weight, yeah.
Yeah, so he, on equal weights here, 57. I thought he was a fantastic play. He'll probably, from Barrier 2, Mickey D on, he'll probably find a very similar position with, and Dawn Service probably doing a little bit more work from out wide. I could easily see him winning again. The one that is an each way price, but who was in that Dawn Service race is Detroit City. I think he is the one that is looking for more ground as well. So, and we have seen Billy Egan ride the Valley very well.
We have seen Billy do that.
So I think running in, I think he's the one that's going to be wanting further. And out of that Dawn Service race, he's the one that I probably would want to be on, but I'm Team Evaporate. He's ticked the boxes for me. Yeah. Now, the stock stakes. The time on of 1,514 metres. Group 2 for the mares, set weights and penalties. Are you keen to take the Flemington form of Gringzinger Bell and Alsafina from that heavy 9 track where nothing could make ground later in the day?
Yeah, you got to sort of be suspect about that. Look, I'm not taking them both on because it's not like they're a ridiculous price. Like they're backable odds. When I was doing the form today, it was just at acceptances and final fields. There was no odds. I checked back later. I was like, I cannot believe the price that they put up for this horse. Give me some of that. There's been some nibbles already because it opened at 31. It's in 23s now. Number 10, Matriarch Rose.
Yep, she's one of the two I like.
Yeah. On the quick backup, from the Perfect race out of the Valley last start, again, had to sort of be shuffled back a little bit. And once it eventually sort of balanced up, came home really, really nicely. And, you know, if I had a bit more luck, I think could have gone close to winning that Perfect race. And like, is that race, you know, going to be questionable form-wise? Look, I'm happy to find out at $23. And sometimes horses on the quick backup, particularly out of a slowly run race, because it was a sit and sprint, that didn't suit Matriarch.
No.
Yeah, draws well here. And K-Mac, he's riding the house down at the moment.
Yeah.
So she's the one for me.
Okay. Yeah, she was one that I like too. So I was going to say, has to go in your quarties.
Has to.
But I think the more likely winner in the race is Jenny La La.
Jenny.
I think that how this horse is double figures, an each way price around this horse. Like, I think the market's got this horrifically wrong. And I'm happy to be the beneficiary of this. Have a look at this for her last 3 starts. Beaten 2 lengths by Zougotcha in the Coolmore Classic. Beat home Denied Knowledge over 2,000 metres, not her go, in the Easter Cup. And then resuming in the time-honoured benchmark 100 at Caulfield, only beaten 1.5 lengths by Another Will. That horse is going to be a very short favourite in a 2-rack handicap. I think she's coming back as a 5-year-old mare. I'm starting to learn from you. Barrier 4, probably going to Declan Bates on in those silks for those connections with Kieran Maher. I think she's going to blinkers on first time. She's going to find the front. She's going to be bloody hard to run down, I reckon. I think she's way over the odds. And I think she's a cracking bet at $5.50.
Yep. Tend to agree. Look, if you're an old Safina drifters, I reckon that's a good play too. Like, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I just think out of that Flemington meeting, I just want to take something out of it, something outside of that, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's why I was looking at Jenny and Matriarch Rose at an enormous price.
Yeah.
God damn.
Should we head to Rosehill?
Let's do it.
Rail in the true, but there is plenty of precipitation around.
Precipitation. Perspiration?
Sure. 3 to 30 mils on Thursday, 0 to 20 mils on Friday, and 0 to 7 on race day. Now, if it's on the lower end of that, it's probably a good 3-track because they wouldn't have irrigated. But if it's on the heavier end of that, then, you know, we're potentially getting into the heavy range. So I guess, yeah, take these tips with a grain of salt. I think there might be some scratchings coming out of these.
Yeah, I think so. And take them with a grain of salt as well because, yeah, until we know what the deck's doing, drifters, keeping our powder dry. It's a smart thing to do.
Golden Rose, 1,400 metres, Group 1, 3-year-olds, set weights. Previous winners, I'm thinking back to like your Bivouacs for beating a yes and an Exceedance.
Jesus.
Thinking of a Militarize. I'm thinking of a Jack Winnow beating an In Secret Just.
Yes.
The Congo.
The Autumn Sun in the Congo beat My Boy Animo. The Autumn Sun beat Zusane. Zusane is doing his best work at stud now, son of Zoostar. Yeah, it's one of those races where if you win it, you can write your checkbook as a stallion for the most part.
And I was looking through those races, right, of the Golden Rose, and it actually reminds me a lot of the Golden Slam series. The starting point is the Golden Slipper, of course. And I've made this comment every single year when the Slipper rolls around. It's a grand final race, and all the horses, you basically see the 2-year-olds because they really don't know what they're doing. They just fan out, and everyone gets the chance. Golden Rose, very similar. It really opens up, and you rarely see them get bad luck, I reckon. So it's like if they're good enough, they should eventually have the chance to find their gap and hit the line. So I would bet with confidence that you're not going to be held up. So if you're a broadsiding fan, from barrier 1, is he?
Mm-hmm.
I'd have confidence that if he's good enough, he gets the job done.
Who rode the quaddie last week?
J-Mac.
So look, guys, if you're keen on him, he's got J-Mac on.
Did you hear what one of the young jockeys said to him?
No, what?
Halfway through the day, he's like, J-Mac, you haven't ridden a winner in 2 Saturdays. Because he went down to Melbourne to ride Visa Stina, and he had didn't have a shocker, but he didn't ride a winner. Half of his rides got scratched. Then he just casually rides the quaddie home. Why would you poke the bear?
Poke the bear? Don't poke the bear in some of those rides. God.
He's good, isn't he?
He's very good. He's very good. But yeah, you are right. Just, without having the replays in front of me, I'm thinking about the Autumn Sun. He was probably in the 7th or 8th lane. Militarized sort of split them through the middle.
Jackano right down the outside.
Bivouac, I can't quite remember.
He was back on the inside. It was a ding-dong battle between him and Yes. And then Biv just got him on the post.
That's right.
Exceedance was the one flashing home on the outside.
That's right.
Those 3 had panels on the rest of the field.
Panels.
Like, they were 3 superstar colts.
Yeah, panels.
And
Yes. Broke track record in an Everest. Bivouac brain name strip down the straight, and Exceedance is Exceedance.
And a Coolmore winner.
Yeah, Coolmore winner.
Literally like one of the best Golden Roses we've seen.
Yeah.
So this year's edition, broadsiding, traffic warden, Storm Boy, the big boy linebacker.
Big chopper linebacker.
Anode, Fearless, Mayfair, Emirate, Tropicus, Clearproof, and Daggers, who's dual accepted. So I've guessed that we're on a soft 6-ish track to soft 7. That's what I've kind of estimated we're on.
I'm thinking we're going to be on a heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to be on a heavy. I prefer it to be a soft 6 or a 7. I've got a bad feeling, but I'm keeping my powder dry irrespective until the day.
All right.
And that's the thing. If it's a heavy deck, you can put a line through a few of these. You think?
I think so. So. Speed in the race, I thought Anode and Stormboy from out wide, they're the logical ones to go forward, right? And they're out of the same stable. I think the stablemate in the middle, Mayfair, is the flying the ointment for those 2 horses. Like, probably goes forward, and then does Stormboy get posted from out wide, or does Anode? Like, I don't know what's happening. It's like...
Is Stormboy going to jump?
Yeah, but I think reminds me of Nature Strip a little bit, where he's a bit slow out, but then he just finds his feet and then goes forward.
Yeah.
Like, he's a bit one-dimensional that way.
Yeah.
And heavy ground for a big, thick colt like him. Do you want to back him?
The stable's said if it's heavy, he doesn't like it. Like, yeah, he ran 4th in the size produce, but he clearly was nowhere near his best as a 2-year-old. If it's a heavy deck, can't back him. Stormboy.
I'm not going near him.
No.
Regardless.
No.
If it's a good track, I'm not going near him either. Because for me, I need to see him do it against this quality of opposition.
Yeah, I think if I knew it was going to be a good deck, he'd certainly be in my calculations. He'd certainly be in my numbers. He probably still is going to be in my numbers, even with a heavy deck, but I'm confident about not backing him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think he runs top 3.
Sheesh. Yeah. Storm Boy. It's more like Storm Little Baby Boy Puddle. Fucking hell. Puddle Boy.
Puddle boy.
Puddle Boy.
Come on, Puddles.
God damn.
All right.
So, look, I know who you're on.
Traffic warden.
Yeah.
Have to be. Benny Mellum takes the ride. Huh?
It doesn't make any sense. The only thing I was thinking is that if Godolphin wants this boy for their Everest slot, is Zach Lloyd going to ride Steffi Magnetica? And therefore they're like, well, we need a different rider.
Yeah, but Ben can't get that low. No way.
He can't get that low, can he?
No, he can't. Like, he doesn't get that low at all. So I'm looking at who, because Zach doesn't have a ride in the field. So I'm assuming you're right, but maybe it's because I'm just trying to think who else rides for Godolphin. I'd assume, you know who they're going to get to ride? When's the Everest this year? Is it on Caulfield Cup Day?
Yes, it is.
Jamie Carr will ride her. Right.
You reckon?
She rode him in Victoria.
Yeah.
So I reckon that's who they're going to get to ride Traffic Warden in the Everest.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Okay.
After he wins this.
Well, there's no reason why you couldn't back him after the Run to the Rose. I think maybe part of the reason why Godolphin's sort of given Zach Lloyd a little like, come on, now, is because there was a bit of a carry-on from Zach post Run to the Rose win. And maybe James, Big Daddy James, said to him, was like, didn't realise that was the grand final, mate. Oh, wait, it wasn't? Naughty. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, you've got to back him with confidence. He's got to be in your numbers. Like, if he's not in your numbers, you're insane.
He's the best 3-year-old colt, in my humble opinion.
If he's the best 3-year-old colt in your humble opinion, you've got to back him.
Of course I do.
You got to.
Yeah.
I think he starts favourite, Traffic Warden.
Really? I don't know about that. The
think he starts
punters
favourite.
love broadsiding. And his best work wasn't that far long ago.
It wasn't. I think the reason why, though, is because a horse has never won a Golden Rose first up since it became a G1. So there might be a little bit of hesitancy. For me, and broadsiding's my top selection, Drifters.
Has to be.
I love this horse. Do you know why? Because he's the number 1 3-year-old for me. He's got that residual fitness from the Queensland campaign. And bro, have you seen his trials? He's still a little baby boy colt. He's already fucking entire. He's already a fully grown stallion, ready to go broadsiding. Look, is there a part of me that thinks the Godolphin camp's like, look, we'll let Traffic Warden get this one, broadsiding, flash over second or third. We'll take him down to the Guineas, he'll win that, and then we'll take him to a Cox Plate.
That has gone through my mind as well.
So, look, part of me is thinking that. But at the same time, like, imagine if James Cummings said that to J Mac.
Yeah.
Oh, look, if he's coming home like a freight train, just woo up a little bit. J Mac's like,
nah,
brah.
nah, bro.
So, yeah, I look, Traffic Warden, I think, is the logical on top selection, but I think broadsiding for me is more of the heart feel. So he's on top. I think it's a Godolphin Cornella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Yeah, Traffic Warden easily on top for me. I love this horse. Just
Son of Street Boss.
yeah, giving it a chance. I was giving it a chance in a slipper where it ran 4th at 50-1. What else do you want?
Nothing
I've been on this horse for an age. Okay, who are the drifters on? You might be asking. Adam Annetts, Traffic Warden, best barrier, but broadsiding too good for them. He's an elite. He's elite. I love him. Trent Mathers, Traffic Warden. Josh Buttonshaw, bodyguard the race before. Come on.
He is. He actually is.
The short ball, Storm Boy. Hopefully we get a silly price if the market overreacts to last start. The market smashed him last 2 starts. So, broadsiding for Kai Hocking. Brandon Francis, Storm Boy. Melbourne Sean, broadsiding, then Traffic Warden. Jay Meaney, Fearless. Also, boys.
35s.
Yeah, not bad. I think the best roughie in the race is Tropicus.
I think the best roughie in the race is Emirate.
Nash.
He's so hot that you takes
your
breath away.
Yeah.
He's so hot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Tropicus for me is one that Didn't show his best last start, but I think he'll appreciate getting out to 1400. That first start run was super.
I think Emirates was good enough in the run to the Rose, and he'll appreciate getting his toe into the ground. Stable has an enormous opinion of him. Doesn't mean that he runs well, but I think at the $15, he's the one.
Did you see the gear change for linebacker? Dick tie? Stallion chain, first time. He's fast becoming a bit of an enigma on this podcast.
Linebacker could, if he wins this, could be my favourite horse.
And he'll rocket up the 3-year-old rankings.
I backed him in the is it the Champagne, the 1600 metre? And where did he run there?
Second.
That's right.
He'll get through the ground.
2 broadsiding, yeah. So
he's not the worst. Like he on debut at Hawkesbury over 1,300 metres on a heavy 8, he brained Bazasto. And Bazasto's gone to Melbourne and won. Half brother to Amelia's Jewel.
yes.
So he's not the worst at $6, but there's others preferred.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he won, but there's others preferred. I just hope he plays up again.
Yeah, me too.
I'm praying that he plays up again.
Lucky for him, there's no fillies in the yard. Although Bro might, he might swing a different way, which is completely fine.
Which is absolutely fine. Yeah. There's some good-looking colts in there.
There is. Like Storm Boy's the thickest colt we've ever seen. Maybe he likes a bit more punch in his colts. All right. Let's go to race 3, the Colin Stephen Quality, 2,400 metres Group 3. In what universe is this a Group 3 race? Anyway, we don't want to spend too much time on this.
And this card in general, because if it's a heavy, then...
Yeah, exactly. So the Sydney City Cup, that's where Redstone Well absolutely brained him, and I was very keen on changing the guard, and you were keen on Strathtay. I'm keen to put a line through both of those form references. I'm keen on the up-and-comer Methuselah, 4-year-old gelding.
If it's a heavy deck,
yeah,
do not back him.
Yeah, I think that's the risk. I think the stablemate, though, can turn the tables on him if it is a bit of a softer deck. That's First Light, who was only 2 lengths behind him. So, and the distance obviously suits that horse.
Yep, nailed it.
Tell you what, that race 4, we saw a cracking benchmark 78 in Melbourne the other week. I think it started the card. Race 4, that benchmark 88, that would be the best one I've seen in Sydney in a very long time.
It's a strong race.
Like,
especially when you've got something like Madatsu as the first emergency.
Yeah, and you have the likes of Unusual Legacy, who's probably, with the unfortunate news of a horse like Elias now targeting a Caulfield Cup, Varley to my futures bets, that horse is probably going to start favouring a race like that now if it gets into the field. So anyway, race 5 is the Heritage Stakes, 1,100 metres listed for the 3-year-old, set weights and penalties. You do see Bodyguard here. Now, inside word from the stable, soft 6 or better, he runs. Anything worse, he gets yanked out. Bodyguard. I'm happy to back him.
Absolutely.
He was one of those 2-year-olds that I was backing pretty much every start. Scratch from the Blue Diamond, he would have been awfully competitive there. I think he would have been the first colt home.
Yeah. If it is a good track, I'm happy to be with Bodyguard. If it's a wet deck, Gatsby's I think bounces back. Son of Schnitzel, J-Mac on, gate 1. Should get through it.
Yep. One of the only horses with wet track form in this race is actually number 8 Winning Proposal, one of the fillies in the race. Had form around, not much, but she actually, she's won on the heavy ground, and she gets some weight relief being a set weights and penalties race as well. Race 7 on the card is the Golden Pendant. Now, in the acceptance or in the nominations for this race, there was Jolly Star, but they've yanked her out because she's finally given her an Everest slot.
Smart thing to do.
Along with Steffi Magnetica. Your boy's on a heater. Didn't get the right slot, though. I thought that the ATC would take her. Not Newgate.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. But
anyway.
Deserves a spot.
Yeah. Millie's Jewel. Stable has been quite open that she doesn't appreciate wet ground. You're one of... I'd say you're still in the bandwagon of AJ.
Yeah, big fan. Yeah, big fan. Oh, soft deck. No, couldn't. Couldn't. I think Samana is well placed here.
Very well placed.
$2.70. That's one of the shorties that you'd like to take.
Fourth home in the Winks.
And she'll like it no matter how the deck is. So I think she's the play. She gets some weight relief off Amelia's Jewel. I think if it was a good deck, I think Samana would still be the play.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, but we'll wait and see. And then the Shannon Stakes, 1,500 metres, Group 2, handicap. The top weight likes some soft ground.
$5 chips in.
Chips in.
Yeah. Bit of toe in the ground. They just sprinted too fast for him first up. Don't worry about that. Softer deck, gate 2. Sits a bit closer. Like if Bro's winning a Golden Eagle, which is the ultimate target, like he has to beat this field, even if he's poorly weighted.
Okay.
In my humble opinion.
You know what Bro did last prep? Virtually an identical run first up. And then he, on soft ground, he went out at, is this 1,400 metres? 1,500, even better for him. Came out and absolutely brained him by 2 lengths. And
Do you trust Les Bridge?
Yeah, he has the experience.
It's not his first rodeo, mate.
He has experience on his side. He's seen a lot of winters and summers and winters again.
Yeah, so many.
So, yeah, he's the logical one. Can someone, though, explain to me that everyone had eyes on New Energy out of what race was that? That was the Theo Marks, right? New Energy, Black Booker. Have to back this thing later this prep. Okay. What about my guy Tannhauser, who was just as good? He gets half a kilo off that horse as well, and you're getting 2 to 3 times the price. Plus, Tannhauser drew 13 of 13 in that race. He comes into 10 of 14, which is still not ideal. But New Energy drew barrier 3 and he gets barrier 11 this time. Tannhauser's the play for me. I'm going again. $19. He's not the 51s that he was last start. But the last time he was on a really heavily rain-affected ground, I'm talking soft 7 or worse. Soft 7, he beat Autumn Angel home over 2,000 metres, who's nicked a tendon and probably won't see her again.
Unfortunately.
Tannhauser again. I'm going down swinging with this horse.
Well, you're still getting a price.
Yeah. I just think it's winnable for him. 1,500 metres is starting to get into his wheelhouse second up as well. So, but I agree, Celestial Legend has to kind of like stamp his authority here. But Tannhauser gets 6 kilos off him.
Yeah, rightly so. But he needs to stamp his authority of Celestial Legend. And at $5, we might not see that price for him again the rest of the prep. So I'm happy to take the play again and get some of mine back from last start.
Okay.
That's how my logic is working in my brain.
Yeah. It's good logic you have.
Plus, he's just a gorgeous grey horse.
Yeah, he is. And Greys love the wet, apparently. Was there anything else that you wanted to touch on? I didn't really do any form for Sandown.
No, not as of yet. Just to focus on the Friday night and the Saturday with the Golden Rose, and gee whiz, it's just we'll get through this weekend alive.
Yeah,
one way or the other, but it'll be a big one.
It will be. You know what? I was saying this to a bloke from work today. One of the best beers that you can have is an airport beer. I love airport beers so much.
Airport beers are phenomenal. The best beers, though, are winning beers.
Yeah. Winners beers?
Winners beers.
Yeah.
Numero uno. Airport beers, definitely in the top 3, though. Absolutely. I think the thing that rounds it out is when you've just done a hard day of manual labour. That rounds out the top 3.
Yeah.
That first beer, like, oh, shut up.
Beer after mowing the lawn? Shut up.
Yeah, it tastes so good, man.
It's going to be a big weekend for you boys, but we're up for it. This is almost like it's a grand final. You know what this is? It's like a 3-year-old colt running in the Everest and then, winning that and then going to the Coolmore, 3 or 4 weeks later because we're going back down for the Cox Plate as well. So
we really are. So it's a big few weeks for us, Drifters, and it's a big few weeks for you. With the tipping comp kicking off on Friday. So we've talked about it enough. You know where to find it.
Yep.
$1,000 for the winner. Starts on Friday night for the Manikato. So make sure If you haven't signed up, sign up ASAP Rocky and keep an eye on your inbox.
Well said. Go Lions.
Let's go to the Lions.